A very, very good afternoon on this Sunday. This is Anawa Chaudhary. You are live on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. It is another live watch-along of the 2025-2026 Indian Super League season, with the latest match being between Bengaluru FC and Northeast United. And it's hopefully going to be another interesting encounter in which... BFC and Northeast United will hopefully give us a good game to remember. We've had some interesting games in the last few days, not always the way I think we want games to be, but let's wait and see what this game offers us, or can offer us, let's put it this way. And Bengaluru FC playing in their traditional blue jerseys. Oh, that's an early save for Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. And on the other side, Northeast United in their away white. Now we have this crazy piece of stat so far that no team which has played in white, as we get the replay of the first potential opportunity for Northeast United. I think Kukwe in the end with the attempt. So interesting. Hi, Kumar. Welcome back. And will be interesting to see. Let's quickly go through a little bit through the lineup today. Attendance is good. Yeah, let's wait and see, Kumar. I always say don't look at attendance at the start of the game. Let's look at the tendencies after about 25, 30 minutes, because that gives you a better overview of how many people have actually factually turned up. I don't know if you guys are facing problems with your live stream. I am facing problems. It's cutting off again and again. Wanted to go through the lineups in which wanted to go through the lineups in which both the teams, BFC trying to build up from the back, trying to play football, and going through the lineups. BFC have Nikhil Pujari. Bungson comes in as a centre back next to Sana. Roshan on the left. Right. So the young Bungson comes in for Raul Beke, who is not even in the squad, as I can see here. Fanai, Suresh Sanchez in midfield, Shiva Shakti up front, Ashik and Williams on the wings. So that seems to be the plan at the moment. And Northeast United, meanwhile, let's figure out if this is a problem on my side. Northeast United with Gurmeet in goal, Zabako as captain, Jairo, Parthiv Gogoi, Ashir Akhtar, Maya Kanan, MacArthur Nixon, Robin Gurung, Andy Samte, and Jitin MS in that starting lineup. So therefore, as I say, an interesting starting 11 as BFC head coach Randy Singh just being shown. With both the teams trying to fight for control of the ball. Five minutes played, goalless at the Kanteerava corner for Northeast United. First test for that BFC goal, headed on. Zapako goes wide. Michel Zapako. Of course, someone with his experience did stick around to play in the Indian Super League this season. Could have said like other players, you know what? Thank you very much. Tata, bye-bye. I'm gone. Surely has also taken some substantial pay cut to stay with Northeast United and not leave the club and the entity as BFC is trying to building up at the back. It was interesting to see what the two teams do. Sorry, I'm having problems with the live stream today, weirdly. Yeah, big test for both the teams. BFC, I guess, in a better position today because with a win, they can move to the top of the table, join East Bengal as well as Jamshedpur FC on 6 points. And for Northeast, meanwhile, it is about trying to avoid a second defeat after that 3-0 defeat in Kolkata to East Bengal. That was the problem for them. That is the challenge that remains for the Highlanders. Again, two teams, two different aims. BFC, Ashik Kurunian on the left. And Pedro Benali. It's interesting that I don't know if teams are following this whole conversation about regarding this white jersey thing. Sanchez with the throw-in. If anyone is actually really following that, because all teams who've played in white so far have lost in the ISL. Sana, his role today much more important with a younger player next to him. Just to prove what he is capable of. We were discussing it yesterday, I think, or the day before, about Sana, that he's actually never made it as a regular into the national team, which I find an interesting fact, actually, guys, that all these years Sana Singh has never, ever made it. Northeast United on that wing, but Jitin does not get part. It's Nikhil Pujari who throws his body in front of him. A difficult one for both of them. As we look at the two benches. corner. With Andy Rodriguez set to take it. Cleared by BFC. Build up from northeast. Sante. Maybe a chance for a counter attack for BFC. Shiva Shakti. And the ball is back at the other end. With Gurpreet, who is captain in place of Rahul Beke, who's not in the squad. I haven't heard anything when Rahul is not there. BFC trying to build up and play. That's the challenge. Northeast United trying to stay deep, not give too much of space to BFC. Of course, we're looking to try to exploit that. That's the challenge for the two teams. With interesting to see how young Bungson does. Chake Lambam Bungson Singh. Interesting that Remedy is giving the chance to an 18-year-old. Of course, he knows who's come from the Classic Football Academy. Antip Gogoi on the wing. Throw in for Northeast United. Someone in the stands with an Arsenal jersey. And you see again a bit of trouble. Another corner for Northeast United. Fourth already early on in this game. Good corner, comes in, flies through to the other side. No danger to the BFC goal. Yeah, both the teams trying to set it up. As we see a thoughtful Renedy Singh. Both the teams trying to BFC may have a chance to break counter. Counter stop, Northeast United. Onto the wing. Jairo. Doesn't get the shot on target. And he beats his marker. And that's the test for both the teams. Hitesh says India U17 men's team will play 2 matches against Myanmar U70 team, the young Myanmar team. One from a tight group. They are better than their seniors. Yeah. They are also in the Asian Cup. Yes, 2 matches. Good practice games for our under 17 boys. Every match that these boys get to play is a good chance. Long ball from Gurpreet. Seems to be foul given against Northeast. Against Ashik. Or for Ashik, rather. Ashik Koronian playing on that left wing for BFC. Brian Sanchez to take that free kick. A lot of pushing and shoving in that Northeast United box going on. You can see the sunshine in Bangalore. And a corner for BFC at the other end. Suresh Wangjam to take that corner. It asked to wait by the assistant. Referee having a discussion with the players in the middle, as the corner doesn't bring anything. Free kick for Northeast United. You see, yeah, Suresh's arm on Mayakanan. Yeah, no point of discussion. As Northeast United clear their lines. Hi, Sasha. It's frustrating to see that BFC's centre backs not attacking the space in front of them when Northeast United is sitting deep. Every team I've watched so far plays slow and around the press. Yeah, very good observation from your side. It's again, the question is, you're a coach yourself. Is this the way that everyone has been sort of brought up and taught and say, hey, listen, this is the way we play? Is that the problem with why this is done? Or is there another reason which you maybe not know? I wouldn't have a logic to it. But that seems to be the way that our teams are playing these days. We see some teams, we saw it yesterday with East Bengal, who play quite a high line with their centre backs. And theoretically, if you could, play smart, mimic fast players, you could easily beat that line. With BFC, it looks like that the line is quite deep. Chance there. And yeah. And that's a goal for BFC. That is the first goal in the 20th minute. Brian Sanchez. Out of nowhere, I would say. BFC suddenly in the lead. Brian Sanchez gives the lead to BFC. A long distance attempt, well executed by the Argentinian Brian Sanchez with the goal for BFC. As you can see, long ranger Gurmeet with no chance to get to the ball. And BFC have the lead in this one. on the edge of the box, sees the gap. Ashir Akhtar doesn't close him down. And Gurmeet has no chance to get to the ball. And suddenly, out of nowhere, PFC are leading 1-0. They have had, before that, in 20 minutes, no attempts on goal. That was the first attempt on goal, and it's in for BFC, who will surely take this lead and will try surely to build on it. Out of nowhere, Bengaluru FC with the lead. Brian Sanchez. Yeah, the Argentinian. With a good placed shot, good placed goal. Puts pressure on Northeast United now. Puts pressure. The 32-year-old Argentinian. Of course, before coming to BFC last year, has only had experience of playing in Argentina. "21 minutes now played, 1-0 for BFC. They'll be happy to take this lead, keep this lead, and try to build on it like they did the other day. But that needed a late goal from a certain super sub called Sunil Chetri to win it 2-0 against Sporting Club Delhi. Ryan Williams, Siva Shakti. Siva Shakti tries to make an attempt, but totally wasted. Yeah, I should have seen Nikhil Pujari on that wing. Nikhil Pujari was actually quite free on the right. Brian Sanchez loses the ball. Northeast United win it. McCarthan. Always a special match for McCarthan Nixon to play against the team through whose academy he's come through. And that's the question now. What can the two teams do? Surely advantage BFC. And the question now is, what does Northeast United do? A lot will depend on Andy Rodriguez, on Jairo Samperio as well. Question will also be is, what can Parthib Gogoi do? Throw in BFC. Northeast United win the ball, lose the ball, win the ball. A lot of action there around the ball. "23.5 minutes played. Northeast United trying to build up. Andy Rodriguez back with Ashir Akhtar. Northeast United will have to do more. No attempts on goal from them. BFC had one and they scored. That's the difference at this moment in time. And BFC can enjoy that lead. As Northeast United play back to their keeper, Gurmeet. Yeah, and he's showing with his arms where to play. No ball. That is the problem. Northeast United still to find their rhythm, their shape, their form. There's writes, Arshika Jain, 22-year-old football from India, was now a key member of the Romanian Premier League side, CS Olympic Kherla. Team has finished seventh in the Women's Premier League. She's the first Indian woman to play in Romania Women's Premier League. Yes, and that's always a good sign. Cleared by BFC, following the corner. Fourth corner for Northeast United. But they've achieved nothing with any of the corners. That's will be a disturbing thing for them. There's playing it around. That was a good save from Gurpreet Singh Sandhu of Jitin MS, which led to the corner. First attempt on goal for Northeast United. That's the question. We need to have more such attempts to put pressure on Gurpreet. We'll be happy. Important to mention from my side, if you're liking our conversations, if you're liking this live watch along of BFC versus Northeast United FC, then do leave a like behind, share it with others. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we stand at the moment at 3,800 subscribers. So thank you very much, everybody who is part of the Arunfoot family. Jitin down on the ground, getting treatment. Nearly 26 minutes played. We've been as they show once again the goal for BFC. 27 minutes now. Nikhil Pujari pushed down. BFC with a throw in. Trying to control play on their side, on that wing. With BFC trying to clear their lines. Throwing Northeast United, and then at the other end, How do you think standard Romanian football men's league, especially men's? Hitesh, if you ask me, Romanian football has seen better times, I would say. When I had Steaua Bucharest and others who FC Cluj, I think also regulars in the Europa Champions League. So therefore, they've seen better days, I would say. Not the best, even in Eastern Europe these days, I would say, if you ask me. Right, still 1-0 for BFC. 29 minutes played. And Renedy animated, agitated, not happy with his team. Yeah, Renu at his best, showing his players, I am not happy with you guys. With yes, you have to be better in their build-up with Northeast. Of course, at the other end, also not, except that Jitana's chance, not really having a chance. That's most probably the best thing to have happened to BFC. Half an hour played. Still goalless. Sorry, goalless saying 1-0 BFC at the Kanteerava. And they'll be happy with that result, with the goal that they've scored, giving them the advantage in this game. Because what the teams coming out post the drinks break. The BFC can be happy with the score, but can they be happy with the performance? That is where my doubt is. Because, yeah, Gurpreet, the corners were dangerous. That's been the danger point so far. And of course, that long range attempt from Jitimanes. Otherwise, yeah, BFC with the lead. As I said, they'll be happy with that result. But Northeast United will need a goal. Haven't scored a goal so far this season in the Indian Super League. Conceded a 3-0 defeat to East Bengal in their opener a few days ago in Kolkata. And here, they're 1 goal down. And that is going to be interesting because Northeast United will need points. They will need the points to avoid moving into a relegation battle. And as BFC will look to, on their side, try to enhance their lead while they're trying that on the left. A good cross, actually. But I don't think... Oh, ball hits the corner flag, stays in play. Nikhil Pujari. Sometimes you also need to have a little bit of luck. That is the problem today. Good cross, cleared. But BFC stay in control and totally miscued from Ashik Kurunian. Yeah, that's the problem. When you get a chance, when you didn't keep your coolness, your calmness, that's going to be the problem. Currently, The league table looks like Bangalore FC will slot in between East Bengal and Jamshedpur FC. All three teams winning their first two matches. Very important for them. And trying to build it up from the back. And yeah, I don't know why my problem with the stream is unstable. I don't know why it is today this way. Yeah, Northeast United need to find a way to score. While BFC, again, interestingly, 3 shots for BFC, 5 for Northeast United. The corners have been dangerous. And both the teams trying to fight for the ball, play for the ball, but struggling to say the least. As they look to find means and ways of how to get into goal scoring positions. Both the teams, yeah, that is the problem. This United looking to score. Haven't done so far. Jersey player on the ground. 36.5 minutes played. Still 1-0, BFC. Both the teams 38 minutes played. Still goalless. Sorry, still 1-0, BFC. Why am I again saying it's sorry? I'm struggling today with the stream. I don't know if any one of you who's watching it on the international feed, if you're having the same problem like me. But it's very weird. Breaking off again. Northeast United having a lot of corners, but none of them really being dangerous. And had their opportunities, yes, that has to be said. But what are you making out of your chances? Even those half chances, are you able to score or not? 40 minutes on the clock. And Williams trying to win the ball from Jitin. Stays with it. But no score in the end. Corner for BFC. They're second. Augusto, okay match. Again, not as, I would say, as tiring as yesterday's Jamshedpur versus Punjab match. Not as exciting as the East Bengal versus Sporting Club Delhi game, but it's a decent game of football. Who scored the goal? I would very much like to see some young Indians scoring this season. It was Brian Sanchez, the Argentinian number 10 for BFC, who scored. So sadly, not an Indian player. Again, season still long. They have to show themselves as both the teams trying. Northeast had a few chances, especially the corners. They've had more than BFC, 5-2, and had a few here and there. But as we've said in the last few days, a few times, the more mature teams seem to be getting away with the games as Northeast United looks to counter. Jitin trying to beat Nikhil Pujari and doesn't bring anything. BFC back with the ball, who of course are missing Viral Beke at the back and had to bring in 18-year-old Bungson Singh as his replacement. That was an interesting decision from Renedy, looking at who all he has available on his bench. Doesn't really have a real centre back on that. That's an interesting thing to sort of observe. Nearly 42 minutes played. What's the young lads from Classic Football Academy playing today? Mayak, there is only one of them on the field, and that is Bungsan. And he's doing okay. Not too much under pressure. I think Sana, having someone like a Sana next to you helps your game, I'm sure. That's surely an advantage for you as a young centre back to have an experienced centre back like Sana. Ooh, nearly a chance for Northeast. And yeah. He's trying to create some pressure before the break. But some of the other AFC are working not to concede late in that first half. With more than 44 minutes on the clock. Still I think Adremuddin and George Arja are the best footballers Romania has produced. Yeah, most probably. There is most probably Popescu, Jorge Popescu, and there's some others maybe in the mix in that conversation. And Max says, I'm actually thinking if I should buy 12.99 euros per month fan code to see ISL or pay 3.99 to Sky or Rai Play and watch Serie A or La Liga. Ooh, that's a tough call that you have to make. Um, I guess a lot of people would say Serie A or La Liga. And as we're entering the closing stages of the first half, um, and 45 minutes now played, and into added time in this game. But 3 minutes added on by the referee. Do you think Benali doesn't trust Ladrin Zwala La Biaknia? He's a natural striker. Mike, he's a natural striker, but Benali will look at who is his best option. In an ISL setting, he thinks Parthiv Gogoi is better. That's why Parthiv Gogoi is playing. It's the same conversation we had with David, right? Saw David yesterday against SC Delhi. Sorry, not an ISL level striker, even if he scores goals. But that's not, to me, that's not good enough. And you know, these guys might be top scorers in the I League, but if you can't even beat foreign centre backs in the ISL, how are you going to play at an even higher level? So therefore, that's the question that we need to ask. Karthik is completely clueless up front, yeah, but again, the coach must be seeing them regularly, not regularly. They see them daily in training, and he must have an opinion about things, and that's going to be the thing. Just before halftime, foul on Northeast United, and yeah, that's going to be the question for the coaches. What's your approach? What's your idea? What do you want to do? How are you going to do it? And the coach then has to decide what is the best option for him and his team, right? So therefore, always a question to be asked, and therefore that's your challenge. Um, that's the challenge that you will have, and yeah, the coach has to decide. Just before the break, oh, this United hit the woodwork. Last few seconds of the first half. That should be it for the first 45. How do you see Sanchez? Wasn't too involved. I felt that the other day also against Delhi. The same thing today as well. And but again, um, he scored a smart, clever goal. Saw the gap, just earned a foul. So to me, smart player, smart footballer, and knows what he needs to do. So therefore, those kind of players are, yeah, they're smart. He knows what he's doing. He's getting the max out for his team. So therefore, I would say he's doing the job to the max. And at the moment, getting it done, so to say, I would say. And as we're now in halftime, Bengaluru FC take that 1-0 lead into the break. Sorry, into the break. As yeah, they'll be happy about it. 1-0 lead for Bengaluru FC against Northeast United FC in a game that could be interesting for the table. you know, and because BFC, if they win, they move to 6 points. So they join East Bengal and Northeast. Sorry, they join East Bengal and Jamshedpur FC at the top. While at the other end, if Northeast United lose, they join Mohammedan Sporting as well as Sporting Club Delhi at the bottom of the table. A second goal for BFC would mean Northeast United would be bottom of the table. They would also have a -5. They currently have a -4 goal difference. Sporting Club Delhi has -5. Mohammedan Sporting -3. While at the top, East Bengal has +6. Bengaluru FC +3 and Jamshedpur FC +2. So that's the situation. And then we've got the situation that later on today, Kerala Blasters hosting Mumbai City Football Club. Yes, that match is happening. I did a video on that topic. Do watch it where I discuss, what all happened and transpired over the last couple of days, Kerala Blasters and the unbelievable stadium issues. Do watch that as well, and yeah, let's see what happens. Adrian Muth has played for Pune City in the year 2015-16. Yes, very true. Technically, only one foreigner in playing 11 of BFC. Yeah, man, technically, yes. Practically, no. Now that Parthiv Goga is nowhere near what he was, he is becoming headless chicken. Kumar, was he ever what you think he was? Again, that is my question with our players. Um, you know, the point to me is very simple that this team is nowhere near where it could, should, needs to be, and therefore it is where it is. And so therefore for me, it's a problem issue at the moment. And Parthiv Gogoi is another Indian footballer, right? Who has those issues and problems that we've seen over the years with a number of those players, and therefore, to me, it's I'm not surprised to say the least that there's a lack of development at some stage, and we've had this now with a lot of these players, right? So it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem with our Indian footballers. What's your take on the attendance? Obviously, it's okay. Stadium looks decent. What is it? 8,000, maybe, maybe 8, maybe 10. Um, it's not more than I think against Delhi last week, but yeah, it's decent. So therefore, I think we all take it at the moment, given the realities of Indian football. So therefore, take the attendances the way they are. And BFC with a 1-0 lead again. Gurpreet had to step in a few times for his team. Had to make some crucial saves for BFC, but he's there for that. Ryan Williams, besides Brent Sanchez, with the other attempt on goal, and yeah. So therefore, at the moment, I would say BFC deserving leaders, leading this game, not leaders. And if you look at the stats, 50-50 ball possession, 6 to 7 attempts, 2 shots on targets each, 2 to 5 corners, 3 to 6 fouls committed. So therefore, so that's the thing. Another, apart from Westbrook, Blues remaining stands are filled when you compare with regular seasons. No, how they're filled, Kumar? I can see spaces, I can see gaps. How are they filled? You're just seeing the main stand. What is the status on the other side of the stadium, Kumar? There is. So if you see the West Block, yes, it's there. The stand next to it is completely empty, right? And then there is that North End Blues, I think. That is filled a little. The lower tier is mainly empty. I can see most of the seats. How do you see that? That's more. It's more than last season. Last season was a disaster in regard to attendance, but yeah, there won't be much development, sadly, unless there is a robust youth system and coaching in place. Sasha, we've spoken about it. To me, the coaching is your biggest problem. If these kids, if these players don't learn the right things at the right age, how are they going to be better at an older age? And that's where we're struggling. That's where we're not developing, evolving, because we're not creating, the players that we need. And that's our biggest problem at the moment, I would say. Right. So therefore, for me, if I look at all those things, we have a lot of problems, a lot of issues. and I don't know where the solutions are. Right. So for me, that's the challenge. Um, where how can we you know um, be have better coaches, work on the right things with the players, have better competition, right? Competitions is another thing. And what are the pathways? All of these things, in my opinion, are interlinked, and we're struggling on that front. And therefore, for me, that's a big issue, big problem. And I don't see if we, I don't know what the answer is at the moment, but we need to find answers to those things. And that is, yeah, those are the realities of things. And I don't know. It's not an easy one. I'll just get up once. Not an easy one. There's no single easy one step solution. There's a lot of things that need to be done, needs to get done, and all those things need to happen at some stage, which don't seem to happen, and therefore we're stuck with things. Yeah, it's a huge problem in my opinion, and I haven't seen the solution, the so-called solutions to those issues, to those problems that being worked on. That we found the solutions that we need, because otherwise we're not going to get there where we need to get, because if we don't produce better footballers, how is the standard going to get better? And if we expect them to play better at that level that they're playing at the moment, then it is an issue. And to me, it is something that I don't see as I don't have a solution for at the moment. We need to work on a lot of things, and in Indian football, I don't know if I have um, I don't know where it is. It should be a prerequisite of a youth system, or else no ISL or I League. Sasha, I get your point, but the problem is to have a youth system. A club can create a youth system. Is it a worthwhile youth system? I think that is the conversation that you and I and we need to have, right? To me, that is the bigger problem. To have a youth system can be easy, but is it doing the right things? So yeah, Patip looks like Bema Mayor. Okay. Please remove this Lord Kalyan Chaube from his seat. Kumar, it is not to me to remove Kalyan Chaube. Who am I to remove Kalyan Chaube? To be very honest, um, I could say the same thing and ask you to remove Kalyan Chaube. So, I don't have that power. It's not in my remit, so to say, to remove Kalyan Chaube. And yeah, just to say that. It seems Northeast United too much dependence on one man army like Ajare. Now they don't have him. It seems they can't do anything. It's like an I League team. It says Shemo. Um, I wouldn't have said that they're a one team army, because I think there were other players as well who had their, uh, uh, you know. So therefore for me, Ajare last season an exceptional player, and this season the players need to step up. I mean, they still have a Zabako, they still have a Jairo Samperio, they also have an Andy Rodriguez. So they have certain level of foreigners. Let's see what they can do. BFC need to shut down those opportunities created by Northeast United FC. So far, the crossbar saved us from 2 goals, or from 2 set pieces. Well, then, yes, and of course that Jitin long ranger. But yeah, BFC need to do better, and they need to be more, in the game, I guess. And that will be another thing that I think BFC needs to figure out. It will be interesting to see what they do. But so far, they're leading, and let's see. Not the big question to me is, can Northeast United score a goal? Now the BC has a youth system, no exception. Talent came out of it. Yeah, Kumar, very true. Northeast United's biggest strength in midfield was Bema Mayer. Yeah, and again, we talk about Ajare and then we forget Bema Mayer, others as well. Zabako was also part of that access from back to the front. Yeah, those are all facts, right? So therefore, they are lacking in certain areas, and it's showing. It is clearly showing that they're not as good as they should need to be. And to me, that's the big challenge for for them Northeast United at the moment, and let's see if they can build a team, and create something out of whatever they have available to them. Right, still halftime in the Kanteerava. If you haven't, do like, share, and subscribe to Arun Foot here on YouTube. Um, yeah, do support it. At the moment, we stand at 3,800 subscribers. Thank you very much. So we're slowly getting to the 4,000 mark. Do watch my short videos. As I said, I did something on the Blasters and their issues regarding the stadium. Today, the match against Mumbai City will take place, so that's good news. But I think, what is the long-term future of of uh, the Kerala Blasters in Kochi? I think that's a big question, and that will be an interesting one for them to try and answer. Good spine is needed from top to bottom in Northeast to succeed. Yeah, yeah. It needs from the back to the front. So therefore, from my side, uh, that's going to be key. If I look at things, and it will be interesting to see how the team set it up. Podcast conference. Kumar, I've been speaking with certain people to speak about things, and we've pushed a few of them, or some, not I, but the people that I wanted to speak to, I've pushed them. So I hope we can speak at some stage in the coming days and weeks. Yes, but I have a few in the pipeline. Right, as shots on the stadium show, the fans, not only BFC, but also there are fans of Northeast United FC, as the two sets of fans await. The two teams are back for the second 45, and it will be interesting to see what the two teams do. Can they create something or not, as we await kickoff for the second 45 minutes at the Kanteerava? Slowly the sun is going down in Bangalore, and the floodlights soon will be visible. I don't see any substitutions at the moment. Let's see. Samte with the ball. Thanks, Kumar. Again, small little steps for Arun Foot here. Again, follow me here. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on X as well, on Facebook. And of course, Arun Foot. Free kick to Northeast. Yeah, foul from Roshan on Partip, as Northeast try and build. Cairo, Samte. All into the danger zone. Bungson clears his lines. And that's going to be the test for him, for young Bungson. Often, how quickly can he clear his lines? Tough one for a young player like him. Not related to football, but why IPL owners don't try to make their own stadiums. Probably the only league in the world which is valued so highly, but teams don't own their stadiums. RS, because why do I need to build my stadiums? The government is building me stadiums, cricket stadiums, left, right, and center. There is no need for me to build a cricket stadium. Right? Big advantage of having a cricket team is I don't need to build a cricket stadium because someone or the other is building me a cricket stadium. So I I I as an owner don't really need to bother about the fact to build a stadium, right? So therefore, it sounds crazy, but that's the reality of things. Of of sports in India, and those who want to build stadiums, let's say in football, it is quite difficult to build a stadium, right? If you like that idea or not, and we're talking about this because my stream is now completely stopped for whatever reason. I don't know. Um, so therefore, that's a reality of things. No? So therefore, for me, if you ask me, um, um, it is one of those problems and issues which you will not be able to solve, right? And from football perspective, there is no will and desire for investment into a football venue, right? Um, Again, there are some exceptions. We've seen in Meghalaya building that stadium, Assam building a stadium. West Bengal government has done a few things. Odisha, of course, has done things under Naveen Patnaik. You know, so that's the thing. So why is it an issue in countries like Italy where own the stadiums, clubs can't do stuff for VPay and things to increase revenue? RS, some clubs have built their own stadium, or some clubs are doing it. Juventus have built their own stadium. Again, if it's not your own stadium, we have that in other sports as well. I have this with handball teams who want to do stuff but can't do stuff because their stadiums are owned by the municipality, and then you have to live with what you have. Either you have your own thingy or you're not. And then a lot of these so-called venues then are municipality venues, meaning that they are used for multi-purpose things. And that's a problem, right? So yeah, live with it, like it or not. Right, as we go at BFC, still leading 1-0. So they have an advantage in this game still. And with that advantage, yeah, BFC difficult for Northeast United. We're trying to attack their opponents, trying to combine, but BFC counter-attacking move on the right, throw in Northeast. Northeast keep the possession in their own half, trying to play out. Dispossessed by BFC. BFC on the edge of the box. Play it back. Lose the ball. Can Northeast be more purposeful? Again, dispossessed by BFC. Difficult at the moment for both the teams. BFC want to keep control, want to keep possession, want to create more. I know a coach like Rennie will want more creation of opportunities and chances. He will not be happy with what he's seeing at the moment. He will want more. He will need more from his team. because at the moment, PFC are not creating enough. At least getting space again and again to be dangerous. That should be a worrying factor for the Blues. Both the teams trying to build up, but it isn't really working for them. BFC again in possession, move out of their own half. Trying to create something. Throw in Northeast. Northeast. 55 minutes played. We're in the 55th minute. And the Highlanders need a goal, at least one, to equalize in this match. Or otherwise, BFC win their second of this campaign. And that would mean that they move into the top three. Well, Northeast United, if the result stays like this, move into the bottom two. A second goal conceded would mean Northeast United could be last in the table. That is the challenge. And Northeast United know have to do more. Hi, Stephen. Welcome back. This is something that both the teams know. And we see a second goal. And this game is done and dusted. A goal for Northeast would open up this game. No, I'm not using VPN. I've actually paid for the fan code membership to watch. So therefore, that's that. As Northeast United on the right. Play back. Push forward again, but you see playing well in their line, amongst themselves in their lines. Not allowing their opponents too much of free space. As Northeast continue to try and create something. But it's a ball back into possession of PSC. Roshan. Suresh. Trying to build up. And that's the question. Can they utilize the opportunities coming their way? Northeast United. It's a question of what can they do. They are trying their best, but That's the big question for Northeast United this season. Is their best not good enough in the context of the Indian Super League? Will they be able to get something out of this or not? That's a dangerous move. That's just in front of the goal. And ooh, can they? Northeast United forced rather to play back, stay in their possession with them trying to put some pressure on their opponents. Northeast United need to. This is interesting. Have not scored so far this season in the ISL. Still goalless after an hour on the edge of the box. In the box, Northeast United. And only a corner, sixth corner after an hour for Northeast United FC. They need to utilize those corners. But they have to rebuild. Northeast United trying to stay dangerous. And the 61st minute in the box. But again, BFC do well defensively and earn a throw in now. Two to six corners says a lot. But Northeast United try to move and attack in the box. Could that be a chance? In the end, goal kick for Gurpreet. Northeast United again back in the danger zone. Shot on target, but Gurpreet in the way. Yeah, it's a phase where Northeast United is better than BFC. But are they able to score? That's the big question. At the moment, looks difficult, looks tough, but Northeast United trying everything they can to get a goal on the score sheet. Can they do that? Substitution for Northeast United. Parthiv Gogoi and Nakathan, the two players who've received a yellow card so far. PFC back with possession. Parthiv Gogoi making space for Lalrin Zwala Lal Biaknia. Interesting. We'll get a little bit over half an hour. Can he be better than what what Parthiv Gogoi has played? Parthiv, not a good game from Parthiv Gogoi. Can play better, has to play better. And scrappy game in that second half. Northeast United trying to put pressure on BFC. Well, BFC now for once is back in attack. Maybe trying to create something. On the right. BFC in a dangerous position. Can they get the shot on? No, they don't. And Northeast United win the ball back. A lot of those sort of called half chances in this game from both the teams. BFC with the ball. In the middle of the park with Fanai, with Suresh, with Sanchez. Played to the back line. Yeah, BFC. But it's now a throw in Northeast United. Cannot be happy with anything with his team. He'll be happy with the result. But there needs to be a little bit more cohesion. Need to create hope. There's a player around for BFC. And it'll be interesting to see how and what they do. BFC still leading 1-0 through a Brian Sanchez goal after 19 minutes. The Argentinian smartly, cleverly found a gap and put the ball into the back of the net. And that is the difference between these two sides, as we have a certain Sunil Chetri coming on for Shivasakti. So is it once more on Captain Fantastic? And that's the equalizer for Northeast United. Or is it not? Into the goal for Northeast United. 1-1. Who is the goal scorer? That would be my question. 1-1 after 67 minutes. First goal of the season for Northeast United. Always in the back of the net. That's what is what counts. Northeast United with the equalizer after 67 minutes. And it is Laldrin Zwala Lal Biaknia. Good hand for Ben Ali. And remember a little earlier, it was, I think, Mayank who was asking about it. Yeah, if he doesn't trust Lal Biaknia. I don't know if he does, if he doesn't, but he's come on and he scored. And suddenly this changes the game because suddenly BFC no longer in the lead and BFC under pressure. And we got our number 9. Anupam, I don't know if we've got our number 9 because he comes on and scores. Um, but it's a quality goal, no doubt about it. And I heard something. Who said this recently? Someone said this recently that there are players you start off with, and there are players who you can bring on as subs, and then whoever comes on as subs has an easier job to do because the opponent, um, because they've already worked for those 60, 70 minutes. So therefore, that is something of a fact which I totally agree with. And Kumar is very, very right. No hyping, let him prove. Exactly. And Northeast United will be happy with this goal to get back into this encounter. And if you see how they're celebrating in the stands, they're enjoying themselves now. The Highlander fans at the Kanteerava. And now interesting to see how BFC try and turn this match around once more. Because for BFC, for Renedy, a 1-1 is not good enough. Because if you want to stay in the top half of the game, you need to win these kind of games. But Northeast, shame he doesn't fit into Khalid Jamil's national team, says Anupam. Yeah. Does he fit into anyone's national team? That would be my question. You know, with all these Mizo boys, do they fit into that system of the coaches? And what I like about the goal is controlling the long ball that came from fullback and strike. Yeah, there is a certain style and a class to the goal, right? And that is something which is natural. And yeah, to find that goal in that way, not easy, not easy. But again, a striker will be a striker. I thought there would be a huge difference between top teams like BFC and teams like Monasport and Northeast United to see Delhi FC, but I was wrong. RS, I don't know if BFC is a top team just yet, right? Because you know, I think they still have a certain way to go, and it's not easy. It will not be easy, and also if we look at East Bengal against Sporting Club Delhi, yes, at the end 4-1 sounds a very clear cut result, and most of the reports are, hey, listen, East Bengal were this, East Bengal were that. I don't know if that penalty wasn't given yesterday for East Bengal for a non-starter of a foul from Clarence on Edmund. If Delhi score a second in the second half, if that game goes differently, I don't, as you said, I don't think the difference is that much between a top team, you know. So That's part of the problem. BC sleeping without pressing the Northeast United FC fullbacks. Yeah, there is no pressing per se. You know, I don't know. BFC is there is something missing at the moment. They need to do more, and that is going to be the problem for BFC if they want to win this. Either it needs a moment of brilliance from one of their players, or it will, yeah, it will need something special. Because at the moment, um, if you would ask me, I would actually say that Northeast most probably is closer to a win than BFC. They've done more in this game, in my opinion. At least has done the fullback. Yeah, they should, but they don't, right? So Kumar, it's yeah, and therefore that's the challenge now. Let me see the game. BFC has to do more. Has to try and press their opponent, as Kumar is rightly saying. They need to venture out more into those positions as well, which they aren't. And suddenly you have a game like this. And will this be a game where a team in white doesn't lose? That would be the first of this season. So that jinx might be broken today. And can Northeast United maybe score another? I wouldn't be surprised. Northeast United, to me, I don't know what you guys are feeling, look to be closer to a second goal than BFC at the moment. As the teams trying to control the midfield. Yeah, BFC lack a little experience sometimes in certain positions, I feel. And the question is, what is Renedy going to do? Has put Sunil on for Shiva Shakti. Who has he got on the bench? He's got Mawia Ralte as a keeper. He's got Ricky, Namyal Bhutia, Soham, Vinit Venkatesh, Rishi Singh, Shivaldo, and Kuziev. Kuziev, the only really experienced player on that bench, but he's a defensive midfielder, the Uzbek player. So therefore, the question is, what should Renedy do with Northeast United playing the better of the two teams? We need a winner from either of the sides. Yeah, Prasenjit, easier said than done. Winner from one of the two sides. Yes, agree with you. But as I say, to me, either it's got to be a moment of brilliance of a Sunil, of a Ryan Williams, a Sanchez, maybe, who can create it. 13,000 attendance. Well, didn't look like 13,000. So there must be some people on the other side of the stand as well. That's why I say, Kumar, very difficult to judge when you don't see the whole stadium. You're just seeing one side of the ground. And yeah, the question now is, can BFC get a second to turn things around? Or can Northeast United come back from a goal down to win this encounter? At the moment, Northeast United would pick up their first point of the season. And that, at the moment, this result means BFC would be joined third with FC Goa on 4 points and 3-1 goals, while Northeast United jump into 8th spot with 1 point. So that's the difference one goal makes. And another goal would put these two teams on level on 3 points each. So therefore, those are some things. Yeah. Will the white jersey curse be broken today? Thinker, it is something that I'm thinking about. And it is very, very possible. It looks like it. It could be with Northeast United, to me, playing for a win. I don't know. BFC needs to do more. Basically, I watch BFC matches regularly. That is why I said more fans came. Okay. Kumar, to me, again, as I said, if I see what I can see, it doesn't look like 13,000 people. So that's what my point is, right? The other side, I'm not seeing, and the other side needs to be counted in. If you're telling me the front facing at 7 to 8,000 people max, so then tell me where the other 5,000 people are. So that's my question to you and to anybody. Therefore, I'm always very careful when people come out with numbers and all that stuff. I know how clubs either manipulate numbers upwards or downwards depending on how they want it. Northeast United, can they get a second? Can BFC get a second? Both the teams are looking at options, and it's interesting to see. BFC picked up a yellow card. Interesting also, possession has moved with 41% BFC, 59% Northeast United. So Northeast United much more dominant in that second half. And Wilson said that was a shot by Rizwala, Rinzwala, and Bengaluru FC got punished for switching off. Agree. They announced in stadium in the telecast. Kumar, again, they're saying it. I don't see it. I've told you, I can only tell you what I see. What I don't see, I can't judge. And if they're saying 13,000, I want to see 13,000. Because the other day also, from the pictures available, it wasn't 12 and a half. So that's my whole point, right? Northeast once more in possession at 9 minutes to go in this encounter with, can BFC get one more, or Northeast United, who to me, again, not only have had more of the ball possession, but have had more overall of the game. And very weird encounter in this second 45. Northeast United FC with Ajay was get the ball terminated. Without him, it's more of controlling in midfield, which doesn't suit the team at all, which led the last game's disaster 3-0 loss. Yeah, very true. But at the moment, they're not doing it bad. Anupam, I have to say it. It is better. It seems like they've learned from their mistakes. But the point was always also that you had someone on the left. So the ball was always played out to the left to Ajay, and then he worked his way into the middle or from that side and then into a position to score. It's a different, it has to be a different team, logically. And that is where it stands. Roshan, the player who had picked up the yellow card. And therefore, that's going to be interesting. Free kick for Northeast United. And that's going to be, going to be very, very interesting of where it goes. Northeast back in the box. Can they do something with it? No, it's a goal kick for Bengaluru FC. So therefore, those are some of the things that I'm seeing, that I'm observing today. BFC surely, clearly, to me, nowhere near they can and need to be. That's clearly evident to me from what I see today. And therefore, that is going to be the learning lessons for Henry, for his team, as a coach. Again, if they win it now, it's going to be on individual brilliance, and that's going to be the question of, can Northeast United deny BFC that maybe one full proper chance? Interesting also that he's not using his bench at the moment. He has players like Vineet, Shivaldo, Kuziev, Rishi came on last time around. But interesting to see that Danny Mite again back on the field. Um, and the question is, can they potentially get another goal? Corner again. Northeast United and their corners today. And they be dangerous this time around. Yeah, selfish Chitan. Yeah. Decision making sometimes not the best. This defense is falling apart. Yeah, you've got an 18-year-old next to Sana. I think that's the problem. I was, again, as I looked on the bench, there is nothing much really for BFC to bring in. Very surprised because there is, young Ricky Namyal, also not a centre back. Ash Palande is not a centre back. He's not even on the team. That's why Bungsan is playing today. So therefore, that's a big problem for Rennery of who do I play in those positions. Throw in Northeast United. And that's the challenge, I guess. Trying to figure out a lineup which works. Again, Rahul Beke missing. And interesting that BFC doesn't have the team balance, the squad balance. Looks like that they looked at reducing cost. And Gurpreet is going to take a goal kick. And they didn't look at needed reinforcements. Now, as a team, if you sleep for a second, you will get punished. You could, Kumar. I would always say give the option of could, because the opponent also needs to punish you and needs to have the quality to punish you. And it's a shot that is wide from BFC. Does getting a foreign coach make a big difference, unless like Lobera Mano, they're teaching a new style? Because assuming even coaches know the basics like low blocks and maintaining shape. RS working with a foreign coach is always a difference. Big coach, small coach doesn't matter, because I think also the level of respect for a foreign coach is different than for an Indian coach, if you like it or not. So therefore for me, so therefore that's the thing. And let's wait and see. Corner for BFC. So therefore, a foreign coach to me always makes a difference. Still 1-1. And Benali hoping and wishing BFC keep it amongst themselves, but lose the ball to Northeast. Can they put pressure? No. Playing amongst themselves. Oh, BFC. There will now be a substitution. Throw in for Northeast United. 87 minutes on the clock. And Northeast United, can they keep it at 1-1? Might they be able to score a second? Or at the other end, can BFC score a second? That's the big question. As Toy has come on for Jitin MS. And it says a lot that in the online ratings, Gurpreet Singh Sandhu is the best rated player in the game. And he's the goalkeeper. Brian Sanchez, the next best, along with Larvin Zwala Lalbiaknia. And that's followed by Ashik and Andy Rodriguez. BFC Free kick, Northeast United. Looks like now that both the teams are fine. Yeah, question mark bringing Kuziev in this late. Yeah, looks like Rennery went conservative with his subs today, bringing in Vineet, Venkatesh, Rishi, as well as Kuziev for Fanai, Suresh, and Ashik. Let's see if what the players can do. Northeast United throw in BFC. That's the point. It's 5 minutes of added time. Can one of those two teams win this? Can any one of those two teams get a winner from this encounter? Again, once more, if you're liking this watch along, leave a like behind, share with other people, and of course, subscribe to the channel. 3,802 is the current number of subscriptions. Thank you, everyone who has become part of the family and watch the short videos. I have something on the Blasters and their problems with their stadiums as well. 4 minutes remaining of added time. Can these two teams do something with this game? Interesting to see what these two teams can do if they can. And it's a goal kick for Northeast United. Gurmeet. Is there one final attempt? From one of those two teams? Is there still an opportunity to score a winner? Is there still an opportunity to get a result? Is there one chance? As both the teams hustling for possession in the middle of the park. Chance movement here, chance movement there. Both the teams trying their best to get a result out of this. With 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Can one of the two teams get something out of this game? That is now the question. Seconds remaining. PFC in possession. Move it forward. And they create something. Get into the box, but dispossessed by BFC. Once again, Northeast United can't. Sorry. This match draw, says Shumit. Let's see, Shumit, if free kick, Northeast United. We're heading into the last few seconds of this encounter. Can Northeast United or BFC get one final chance? Goal words. And yeah, that was the best chance of this in last minute. Very true words in. Very, very true. But I guess this is heading for a draw. We are already in the 6th minute of injury time, added time, whatever you want to call it. And that's the end of this match. 1-1, the final result of this encounter. And what's your opinion about Norwich on the basis of today's match? If I missed the match, did notice it was better than last match. Ellis, I would say yes, they were better. I think one has to be honest enough also that BFC is also a team in work in progress, I would call it, because they didn't create, so therefore for me, it's it was a better performance, and the question is, can they for me, I think the team needs to settle a little more. I think Ben Ali will get some better results out of this team in the long run. But yeah, so therefore for me, let's see. Today the goalkeeper of changed Kerala Blasters FC changed. I've not looked at the lineups of the second game, to be honest. So therefore I can't tell you yet what is the lineup of the two teams. I will have a look at it. Tactics was shot after neutral FC scored. Okay, Jason. Anio Rinzwala is good, says Pranjal for BFC. Okay. I don't know. To me, BFC second half looked, they were there, but they didn't play, right? I don't know. Maybe I got it wrong. But what I understand, so therefore for me, Renedy and his team cannot be happy with this performance. And that is something which we'll have to see. Well, Ash Anwar, okay, just quickly. The lineups for the second game: Ashan Vashik in goal, Ba, Sandeep, Bertomeu, Marlon, Puru, Danish, Nihal, Borges, Naucha, Bikash. Meanwhile, Mumbai City have Lachempa, Valpuya, Nuno, Reis. Vikram comes in, Changte, Kauko, Brandon Trunga, Diaz, Mishra, and Sahil Panwar. Um, Interesting changes, so to say. That means that Vikram comes in for an injured Jorge Ortiz. So that's the lineup for the second game. Right, where are we? Sorry, let me continue. Um, am I right? You said VC doesn't have a lot of bench strength and coach going with a laid back team. Um, was the cause of this performance? I don't know if it was laid back, Vajan. I think one has to honestly then say what's the level, what's the quality of the team, right? We have to look at that BFC has three foreigners overall. They don't have a foreign centre back. And with Raul Beke out of the squad, to me, you don't have options. You're playing an 18-year-old. You don't have any other. So you can't even say, listen, if the 18-year-old does bad, do I have someone as a B or a C option to take that kid off and put someone on? BFC didn't have that, doesn't have that, didn't have that, doesn't have that. So therefore, if I add up all these factors, um, then, the assumption that people are making that BFC could be potentially a top team, I have my doubts, right? As much as I wish Renedy all the best. But that's the reality. And yeah, let's wait and see what he's able to do. That's very late sub of Kuziev. Aman, I don't know what the reason is for those substitutions. Again, that's always something to ask the coaches why they do substitution and when. But if you make those three subs so late, Sunil a little earlier, again, yeah. Now that, do you think players are not empathetic towards each other could be career ending? The seriousness of rash challenges are more often red. Sorry, Anupam, let me read this again. Do you Sorry. Do you think our players are not empathetic towards each other? It could be career ending. The seriousness of rash challenges are more often red card worthy compared to European world level. No, I don't think, Anupam, it is about being empathetic or being rash in your challenges. Um, I think sometimes it's a matter of quality. Sometimes it's a matter of error of judgment of should I go into a situation. Sometimes it is even I'm simply too slow, right? So I think those are the things. Uh, so let's see. There will be two ISL team or one for AFC competitions. I'm on one, only one. The champion, depending. Mohun Bagan and FC Goa are out. So if any one of those two wins or if those two finish top two, then the third team in the league table will go to play the AFC Champions League 2 qualifiers. Today, Ryan Williams' performance down. Yeah, Shumit, he wasn't too good also in the first game, to be very honest. We've seen a better Brian Williams in the last couple of years. So that has to be honestly said. But again, that's a reality of how things are, where things stand. And yeah, again, a lot of these players have not played much football and you're now in this situation. So therefore, we'll have to wait and see what they do. But to me, Renedy has a lot of work and it remains. And for Ashish is the skill, but what is that's lacking? The support he gets, the finishing capacity. Ashik. Acha, Ashik. Um, Ashik has the skill, sometimes wants to go with his head through a wall, sometimes feel. And yeah, he needs the players around. Carol Lasses in Mumbai City live stream. No, sadly, Aman, I won't be able to do a live stream. After this live, I'm going to head out for live football here in Germany. It is raining, literally cats and dogs, but again, we'll have the match happening. So therefore, I'll be off in a few minutes. What happened to Kevin? No idea. Aman, players come in, players go out. it's a good question that you're asking. I honestly don't know what has happened to him. Yeah, and therefore let's wait and see what we do. Um, Again, players come and players go. With that, slowly are coming to an end. If you haven't liked, please leave a like behind. Share this live streams or this live stream in general, which we've been doing. And of course, if you're not a subscriber yet, do subscribe to the channel. We stand at 3,802 at this moment. And yeah, sadly, I would have loved to have done a KBFC versus Mumbai City live stream. But again, I'm going for local football here in Germany, in the rain, in the cold. But I'll enjoy myself. Thanks, Anupam. Good night. Take care. And tomorrow I'll be back with another live stream. And then we have Mohun Bagan versus Chennai FC. Should be an interesting game. Chennai under pressure after their loss at Mumbai last week, or earlier this week, sorry. And Momagan also need a win because at least East Bengal and Trishipur FC have 6 points on the board. So therefore, tomorrow evening, another live, and I'll catch you then. Thanks and